And we're live again on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma. Do you know what I always forget to do? Set that thing there. Dang, it's finally time, we're live. God, I've just had such a a runaway day of this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing. Then it's like, oh, I'm live. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna talk about? Yeah, got just enough time to squeeze in a live stream this evening. I know what we're gonna do in the world though. We're going to work on this nether tunnel right here today, so that should be fun. And I'm trying to scratch my head and figure out like what it is I've forgotten. I'm rusty. I took the weekend off, and now I'm rusty. I forgot to launch my chat box, so I can't see chat. This is what happens when you rush things, peeps. Okay. Looks like we're now in business. I can see my chat. Cool. Ghostly, welcome to the stream. King Arge 7. Yeah, that couldn't have gone on for too much longer. I mean, when I stream, there's like this impulse just to look over to the other side of the screen. And there's chat right there, but not today. Oh, this is something else we're going to do. We're going to try and fix this. Okay, I was wondering why I had speed boost. It was because I came through the nether. So let's do that. I want to get the sorter running. See, look, I got a bunch of stuff that needs sorting, right? So we'll do a bunch of stuff with that. Just got to get in the habit of chucking it all into here. We can only now eat gigapies on the server, by the way, if you're wondering what all that is about. Okay, got our rockets over here, so nice and tidy inventory again. And we got two noises in the ear. Curls of Doom here, gifting a sub to Blackjack69666. Thank you for gifting the sub, Curls. And Zythra1 here with the Prime. Thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome to all the peeps tuning in. What else? I mean, I've got monumental amounts of junk that needs sorting away. This one I think can get sorted. That one we need to put our shovel in. And yes, there's already an ender chest here. Make all the jokes that you want. Anyway, it's good to be back. I took the weekend off. Had a little planned mini holiday that did my headspace a world of good. It was real nice to have a break again. And we'll talk about some of that later on in the stream. So, what I've got to do, I've got my camera account in AFK mode. Just got to bring it over to here. So now it's in the area. And it will keep this place loaded while the this thing is running. Cool. While that's happening, it's not a good time to do this, but over here we've got a bunch of things that now need to go into the filter system. So if this thing finishes sorting, we'll come back to it later. But I'll fish those items out for now. There's going to be a bunch of like food ones, I imagine. What's in the back? Just back there. Hey, more people are tuning in. I notice it comes in waves. You see like a wave of people coming in from time to time. So welcome everyone. We're just going to start off by doing some inventory sorting, organizing, that kind of thing. And we'll slowly get into it. So any item that's in here is one that hasn't been sorted, with exception to the ones that are stacking into 16. I just can't get those to work. So that means all of this stuff needs a filter. And I think I got it. What about this chest? Right, so like rabbit hides, melons, cobwebs, royal emeralds have made their way over here, and pufferfish. So at some point I need to go around and add all of those items to the filter. This is how organization works, my friends. Cool, all of the items have gone in there, the lights are flashing, it's doing its thing. We're going to try and make the bit up here a little more reliable and probably move some of the redstone out of the way of some of our other redstone, which will make so much more sense in just a moment. I kind of don't have a proper way to get to the area just below this, so Spruce, I choose you. Yes, okay. So like we've got the one right there. It's waterlogged, it's hidden. I think what we need to do is probably put one on each side, because it doesn't catch it every time I get out. Anyway, noises. J. Icarus is here for 4 months saying, howdy X. You've been an inspiration for me to learn to play the guitar again. I have one question. Favourite song from the 2010 era? Have a good day. That's a hard one for me to answer just on the spot because, gosh, so many songs and favourite to play from that era. I'm going to guess it's probably like some Lamb of God stuff. And there's not so much Dimmu that I know from that era to play. Just a bit before that. Yeah, I'm terrible at answering these types of questions, peeps. You should know me by now. It just makes my brain go blank. I feel like I need to do proper research. If anything pops into my head, I'm like, no, I might have forgotten something that was more worthy than this. Right, either way, whatever's happening here, we need more skulk sensors to begin with. Which should be easy enough. As I believe we have a few. I do have plans to build a farm. I haven't felt like doing any technical Minecrafty stuff as of late. I don't know why. Do you know, I'm gonna fill up a bunch and put them back in there after. I just haven't felt like doing that stuff. Don't know what's up with me. Usually I love it. But I got a great idea for a farm with the skulk. I guess we did a whole bunch of streams recently, right? Doing redstone? Maybe I just scratched the itch for a while. Maybe it's all good now. Okay, so one on each side is the idea. Waterlog them to make them silent. Probably going to have to put like a slab alongside one of these so we can actually see what's going on. And then we've got to hook all the redstone up. That is not the redstone one, this one is. Freaky Beetle says, hello X, thank you for making contents and stories that I can enjoy watching and sharing with my kids. Cool. Cool, happy to hear it. However, I will always say I don't consider myself family friendly. I am just me being me. And sometimes that means effing and f***ing jeffing. Oh, not again, X. No, don't do that one again. Oh. Sorry to disappoint. We got Tunker out here for 5 months saying, hey X, not going to watch the stream because I have so many things to do for university, but I wanted to share my subscription. Love hearing the VODs while I exercise. Awesome, my dude. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing. I have a little exercise story to share with y'all later on when we talk about my travels. Jellyman, thank you so much for 19 months of support. Hey, we got Bell Steven here, gifting some subs. In comes the sub bomb. Space Fan, MSN Tech Guy, Qualk, Riff Raff, Ardenese. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Just looking over at chat's reactions. Not that foul language again. X, we've been through this. Coles, you're gonna have to keep bleeping me. I'm sorry. It's your job. Anyway, Shez Steak Jimmy's, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Bronk Ridley, thank you for 3 months. Thank you. Right, again. if it feels like everything's always just a bunch of blocks away. Like, I just want to do something simple. Oh no, where's the craft bench? Where's that thing that cuts up the blocks? There is no, where's my crafting bench gone? Oh, no surprise, look, a chest monster is emerging. Maybe I should play with the full anticipation of chest monster every time. Like, I should play like, okay, I want to do something simple. Let's prepare an area for 20 shulker boxes. Because that's how this game works. Yes, I will pinch some stone from over there. Bell Stevens says, been a while since we've been able to sit down and watch the stream. Well, glad to have you with us today. We've got some projects we're going to be doing, some things we're going to be talking about. It's going to be all good around here. You know what? If I do it that way, then I can click on the side of that block. And that's that. Nice. A bit of a random question, but what's your opinion on modern songs sampling old classics like most recently, I'm Good Blue. This is car creator. My opinion is that everything culturally is a remix of something that came before it. If you spend time learning about stuff, you'll notice, oh, old movies were based on older books, and hey, this thing I thought was original is actually a rehash of that thing. Much music shares roots into the past, and I think sampling is a really beautiful art form. In fact, the story of hip-hop and how it came out of the Bronx and the New York ghettos, and the story of like how there was this power cut and people looted stores and it put like record samplers in the hands of regular people, and then they were able to like make music with it, to me is like really like an amazing story. One that I'm really like fascinated by. And I love the history of like sampling. When I listen to hip hop, I always like to, you know, check out where the samples are from. Like a lot of stuff in the 90s has its roots in like 70s soul and R&B music and funk. And even those can be just like sort of reworks. Like some of those classic Dre and Snoop songs, they're just like reworks of classic old school melodies. So a lot of music has lineage like that, and I think sampling's a really cool part of it. X, what's the mod called where you can see what's in the shulker by hovering above it? I think it's called Shulker Box Viewer. Just off the top of my head. I need redstone wire. Thesis Co, thank you so much for the prime. Licky Sticky Icky, thank you for 36 months. Taking an easy, lazy day today, but my internet is not working best, so yeah, maybe I can catch some of your stream. Awesome. It's Bryn. It's here for 2 months saying keep up the hard work, thanks for the content. Appreciate you. Speaking of hard work and having a lazy day, the thing that really stuck with me that I heard recently was living slow. And although I have a lot to do in a day, and you know I keep myself on track, I really like thinking about things a little slower. Like today, I just tried to do things like everything was like one thing at a time, and like stop piling up all these things that need to get done in your head. You know, like I'm good at making lists, but even though I've got lists of things I need to do, they tend to like sit around mentally. It's like, oh, I'll get that thing done and this thing done. And today I just picked one priority. I was like, this is what you're focusing on. And it was a bit of like, you know, exercise, cleaning, cooking in between. But it was like I focused on the one thing and it felt real good. It felt like I was just going at a slower pace. But I was actually just really focused on what I was doing today, which was making an episode of Hermitcraft, by the way. Really wanted to finish it on time because I have a sponsorship deadline to meet. And I've been able to meet that, which is good. But if you happen to be watching the next episode and the sponsorship comes up, check it out, and I think you're going to love the animation that we put together for the ad as it is. Right, there you go. So now that thing's just going to like be sending redstone signals all over the place. When we come over to this spot right here, we're going to have a bit of an issue. Need to go into here. Oh, I got a little bit of a story regarding another YouTuber who shall not be named. Because my little story isn't mudslinging or anything like that. But just an interesting difference in type of content, let's say. So there are like what I've noticed is, you know, there's other types of Minecraft content, and I feel like it's the evolution of the content that I've been making for a long, not evolution of me, but just like I'm part of an era, right? I'm part of an era of Minecraft, and that era has evolved. And what young people watching Minecraft today, I think they watch Minecraft that moves at a different pace, let's say. This redstone wire is going to need to like go the long way around, I think. I think we should probably play it safe and wire it up the long way around, yeah. So yeah, like, you know, if I go and watch some of this newer content that's Minecraft, it feels very different from the stuff that I know. Right? If I go watch some of my favorite YouTubers, let's say, it'll have that familiar feel, because that's just what I'm used to, right? Now, these types of videos, they just pack so much progress into an episode. It is unbelievable. It's all like, they Mr. Beast it, right? You know, like, they present, oh my god, in this episode there's going to be this, that, and a third. There's going to be all this crazy stuff going on, and like super fast time lapses with incredible amounts of builds, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, how do you do this? Like, you must be playing Minecraft all day long to achieve this stuff. And like, because I've checked out these videos out of curiosity, YouTube then recommends it to me, and YouTube have done a better job of showing you when channels are live now, right? The channel icon gets a little ring around it and you can see, oh, they're live. So I tuned in for one of these. It was like the video popped up, but I was like, oh, they're also live. I'll go check it out and see, hey, how are they doing all this crazy stuff? And I don't know if a lot of people watching these videos realize it or not. Based on their own chat, I think a lot of people didn't realize it, as I didn't realize it too. But it's like, I don't think at any point they go, look, it's, you know, it's pure survival vanilla, we're actually killing porkies or anything like that. But it uses mods to place blocks and like loads of this sort of cheaty stuff, which is something you could comment on what we do, like using Schematica, but like to the next level. Like, we have our little comfort area with Schematica over here on Hermitcraft, and then you see these other channels or whatever, like taking it to the next level. And I get the feeling, like from looking at their chat, that they don't feel like it's disclosed. And I didn't either. I didn't know. You know, there's nothing wrong with how you choose to play the game, but it explained a lot to me. I was like, now I get the reason why there's so much going on in your episodes, is because you're playing with these mods. And I get the feeling they don't really show the mods in the videos, but like on this live stream they were happily showing it. And yeah, it was an interesting thing to see. But it also made me think about all the times that I like complain about how slow survival Minecraft is, and I'm like, if I went on Hermitcraft, I might have like dipped my toes into doing this stuff. And at the end of the day, you probably find out it's like more productive for building in survival. But I don't think it's the right way to go about it. I don't think the game needs to be like faster ways to jump from creative to survival, right? Like, you don't want to keep making a schematic and having these ghost blocks. These ghost blocks are here in my mind because there are like some big hindrances that Minecraft has, and it's not really the priority of the game to you know, address why we need ghost blocks to build stuff right, because it's not a game. It's a game for technical people, but it's also a game for casual players too. So you've got to consider that the average Minecraft player is probably younger and doesn't need all of these technical tools to achieve what they want to do in the game. So it's not a priority for Mojang to develop the game this way, right? It's not their priority. So if this was developed like Factorio was, where technical players were their priority and they were trying to look at automation and like, how do we maximize this experience, then they would be creating features and changing things that mean, yeah, you don't need a bunch of like ghost box schematics in your world, and you don't need to use mods that place the blocks for you. It was very interesting to see. It just opened up like a whole box of thoughts, I guess, in my head. And Velicon says, I feel like that while it is true that there are a lot of young people, it is also true that the player base is getting older too. I mean, Microsoft have the demographic information right, and if you look at how much the game has grown in just the last few years, you could make a good argument that although there is a large player base already, there's clearly an influx of newer and younger players. But unless they choose to release that information, all we can do is speculate. And you know, you got a point. There is an aging player base, let's say, but an aging player base also becomes less active. Maybe doesn't play as much, maybe watches more than plays, that kind of thing. But you know, they have the information, and I think, you know, their actions speak to that information. It could mean that they're trying to chase a younger audience that they don't have, but I think it's far more likely, based on what happens on the Microsoft Marketplace, you can kind of see just a gravitas towards a young player base over there. Hey X, how do you feel with people calling you Dad Suma? Says Ilmeku. As one of the first people to call me Dad Suma, I don't know, because that's the first time I've heard someone say it. Back to the noises in the ear. Rainbow Crow, thank you for 2 months. Oops, didn't know you had a break. Hope it went well. Yeah, I didn't feel the need to announce it. I just planned it, and we went on a little holiday and all that cool stuff. X, you can fully replace the top shulker sensor with a timer at the bottom of the elevator. I think I see what you're getting at. It's like you're at the bottom, so now the only way you're going to go is up. But could that get broken? Like when I go back up, how's it going to know? Now I'm going to stick with what this. It works. I could definitely relook at the system, but I don't want to do that now. I want to crack on and get some stuff done today. Oh wait. I need that. I need that, fam. By the way, I've got a cup of mint green tea here that I need to drink. It's getting a little bit on the cooler side. Oops, my apologies. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Red Cat Jack, and also Rune Shahar has gifted a sub to Tebow. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. As always, thanks for your amazing support, people. Barry Chunks here for 13, Ren's Cold Sun's here for 32, and Dogchamp is here with that Amazon Prime subscription. Thank you so much. Redstoner says, what is Factorio? Hey, go look up that game. It's an amazing, unique game that has influenced tons of other games. Minecraft was initially an influence on it. I played it on my channel. I've got live streams. You know where to go. Oh, time for me to plug it. You can go to xisumavoid.co/links, or you can go to linktree.xisuma.co. That is my links page for all the stuff. Somewhere on my main channel, if you use the search feature, you can look for Factorio. Same on the second channel for the live streams. Good tea. Kirsten says Factorio is wonderful. Yeah, I love it. It's one of those games I could have seen myself getting like real deep into, but I find like if you don't play it for a while, or at least for me, like, you know, this is like my one game, right? Playing Minecraft, and the more you put into a game, you get to like a different level of playing. So it's very hard for me to like put time into games. Like I'm interested in exploring games, seeing some mechanics, new ideas emerge. But then when you start putting more and more time into it, it's like, well, what am I getting back out of it, right? And with Factorio, I kind of saw the rabbit hole, and it looked fun and interesting. But you know, my time got pulled into doing, I don't know, this, you know, Minecraft and other things, and then whenever I look back at that rabbit hole, it's like it feels like it's further away and more work to get like back into it and become proficient. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm just resorting to like chucking them in now. I want to get like icons on everything eventually. Yeah, so a little bit of redstone taken care of while our sorting was running. But we're going to be popping through into the Nether next, I believe. I have 400 hours in Factorio, says Bullduct. I've got Steam, so it's probably got some hours on it. I can't remember what it was last time I looked. Redstone has actually got 800 hours in it. Okay. That's crazy. Kirsten says after Season 9 is done. Nah, I think after Season 9 it'll be like a mod pack in between, that kind of thing. That's what I'm feeling anyway. So, I reckon what we need to do is, well, we've got to put away these buckets. But we need to create Nether Tunnel. Look, more items came through, right? Like one of those. I'm not sure what else. Maybe just that one. I could have swore I'd done that, but maybe actually not. Anyway. I will give it some more items to sort. Interesting that that's there. Because that's not... Okay, I think I know what that is, actually. That's an area. Yeah, there's an area left over. Cool, let's turn all of that off. So I think most of the materials I've been building are still sort of... Building with are still sort of in my backpack. But I will want some copper, I'm pretty sure. And I think what I want to do is kind of take the block palette we have so far, rearrange it a little, and translate into something we can sort of build for the Nether, build up for the Nether even. Curse 10 says, was that an answer to when Season 10 is? Yes. Spoiler alert, Season 10 is after Season 9. It's also before Season 12. It's before Season 12, peeps. Okay, now let's get the zoom set to something reasonable. Thank you. Thank you, much better. Not when it's on downwards on default, only switches upwards when you detect it at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but like, I don't want to think about it on stream. You know, maybe I'll have a little think, and if it makes sense, I'll do something. I don't want to just run in and do something based on a whim. I kind of like the idea of maybe like ripping this out entirely and then using that as the shape. Need to look at it a little bit first, maybe. Soul Voxert, thank you ever so much for 9 months of support. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Lunar Collider says, dang, no Season 11. Season 11 is confirmed to be after Season 10 and before Season 13. Didn't you know that? God. God, what is with you people and seasons? I'm like looking at the space and just like swapping blocks in and out in my head. Because I like this idea of having like copper trim go like this all the way along and line up with these blocks. So, like maybe it pops through here. And then you need something to break that up or it could end up looking pretty dull. The thing is, it doesn't like transition particularly well. So like, let's say we knock that on the head. I've also got no problem with taking my time on this today. Like, the mind's sometimes just in a bit of a rush to get stuff done. And it's like, no, it's okay, it's okay. Figure it out. So like, that is very similar. So it doesn't really like pop out. If you're passing through the neighborhood, the presence of that type of wood doesn't particularly distinguish itself. Interesting. Bear, thank you for gifting a sub to Winter Pearl Bear. Ah, I see what's going on here. It's like the bananas, the bears are banding together. Thank you for gifting that sub. Winter Pearl Bear, be sure to say thanks in the chat as well. Ah, so it's 9, 10, 12, 11, 13. Got it, says Caitlin. No. No, they're in chronological order. Ugh, whatever. What if we just bring it forward to here? So maybe, rather than trying to line it up, that wood comes in a little bit. So you got like a different colour for the whole thing. This speed, I don't know why, the speed is like annoying me. I keep just moving a little bit like further along than I want to or expect to. Everstrew, thank you so much for 14 months of support. And Moonflea is here for 42. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dr. Strep says, hello, X, my favourite podcaster and wafflers. Hello. Hello there. Well, if you labelled them 9, 10, 12, 11, 13 as they would come out, it would still be in chronological order. It's just not numeric. It's in numeric. Stop being clever with the words! Yeah, you think you're so... Look, I'm the one doing the trolling here. About the seasons and the numbers. Don't get it twisted. Jeez. Trying to be clever, are you? Trying to be clever. Right. Yeah, it's just going to leave us with like a blank opening. Peeps learning well from the troll in chief, says Carls of Doom. That is very true. Time for me to self-aggrandize. I've taught you all so well the ways of the troll. Okay. Another idea might be to like peel it inwards at the entrance a little bit. What I don't want to do is like task myself with some big like organic mangrove thing. Just want like a nice repeating pattern all the way down to the end. This game is too punishing when you want to go like beautiful with stuff. It'd get really narrow if we were to do that. Wow, so many hermits streaming, says Fimo. Yeah, 3 of us are streaming. What were the other materials used? Dark oak wood. I haven't even thought about touching that yet. So let's go grab some spruce wood. No, dark oak wood. Let me grab that. Oh, apparently it's 5 hermits? Okay, so it's Cleo and Tango are streaming. I mean, hey, Mondays be busy days then, I guess. But for me, it was either... It would be today, couldn't do tomorrow, and Wednesday or Thursday. So this week I'll be doing either Wednesday or Thursday as well as today. And then we'll do our Saturday morning. Probably going to play Inscription Saturday morning, I think. I reckon that's going to be the game of choice for the weekend. Right, what about these chocolate logs? You know, this stuff's going to come away eventually. It will definitely make it pop out. For me, it's just like, how do I take this shape and then get the next thing moving along and make it feel like interesting? Especially with our mix of materials. Oh, do you know what? What if we try and start off with an element that we've already seen in the base? Like, rather than go that direction, let's take out that on either side. Chocolate logs? What? Says Lunar Collider. Yeah, I'm just laying down some chocolate logs over here. You know? They look so tasty and appetizing when laid like this. Anyway, let's go over here. And then, yeah, I could see that going somewhere. Maybe we could, yeah, maybe this could just sit like directly behind it. Like, if I move these about. Looks pretty good, right? Chocolate logs, always a winner. Oops. Oh. Oh, now we got a floating one. We got a floater. Okay, anyway. I feel like it needs to just go 1 block high, even though that feels like the right height. The entrance. Let's go maybe 1 block higher. Oh, and then I can leave my sign. Well, actually, that's all gonna change in a minute, isn't it? X eats bone meal. You can't question what he finds appetizing at this point, says Caitlin. Excuse me, I do not eat bone meal. Do not say that to the king. I eat gigapies. I am an honourable citizen of the season and the server who will break no laws. Okay? I will break no laws. Now, I'm currently winning. And I do not want to jeopardise my position. So don't go telling Ren some porkies about eating bone meal. No, 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 no. It's all about them gigapies. Curls of Doom says Gigapies are just retextured bone meal. Lies! Lies and slander! Please, don't get me into trouble with Ren. He's a wonderful king. He's done so many good things for the server, like that time that he made all of those shards. Yeah, that was great, that was. You know? The shards. They're what I'm currently obsessed with, I guess. Right, as you can see, this entrance here is now very me. I just think we need to change the material to the chocolate log. Justice Guy says, the amount of bone meal you did eat, you've probably got more bones than a normal human now. That's true. Got some extra ribs coming in. Ed Network, the one, the only, 74 months. That's Evil X right there. Thank you so much, Ed, for your continued support. Greatly appreciated. Can we count this as X having a shard addiction? Possibly, quite possibly. We could do some of that this season too. Biamda says, do you feel that some of Ren the King's arc normalizes bullying? Seeing a lot of similarities from people I went through in high school. I do not. I think when you say that you are seeing similarities, I believe to some extent you'll be projecting your own experiences onto what you see. Like being bullied can be very traumatizing and lead you to see those things all over the place. But let me assure you, all the shenanigans that go on Hermitcraft is between friends. As we know, there is bullying. Kids can be mean, kids can be unkind. There's also, like, you know, ribbing between friends and kind of things that are understood to be playful and jokey. And here on Hermitcraft, that's what it is. It's all fun and play, fun and games. It's not bullying in the slightest. If anyone is to misunderstand it as that, let me assure you it's definitely not that. And we would also not encourage bullying and not want to be seen as encouraging bullying either. So, I don't think what we do warrants any kind of actual concern, right? I think if you're seeing bullying in it, you're probably seeing like a reflection of some experiences you've been through. I don't think it's on that side of things, right? Like sometimes content can be a little contentious and you have to ask the question, hang on a minute, is like this actually not being done right? Is this problematic in some way? But I do not think that's what we're doing here, no. As someone who spent 6 years being bullied, I can tell you you're all genuinely really good friends who understand each other's boundaries, says Luna Collider. There you go. But, you know, not everyone's experiences are equal and our responses to them aren't equal either. So, like, I'm glad you understand it, but I can see how someone might not if it reflects some of the experiences they've been through. Hope everybody is well. Work has been a pain for me. Our machine to grind lenses is busted. And I had to do a whole bunch of phoning the public. Not something I don't do it. It went not very well. Having to do a bunch of PR calls to random people, I take it. What are my attitudes with that stuff? Not really sure if it's comparable to things I've done myself, but like, I feel like there's this voice of doubt in your head sometimes, and when you're interacting with other people, just maybe like think about it less and be your best self more. It's kind of like my attitude, you know, like sometimes you'll be hello and chippy and cheerful to someone and they might just be a bit grumpy back. And rather than think, oh, you know, what's wrong with me? Hey, maybe they're just having a bad day. Forget about it. You know, like, just be your best self and do the best you can do. And, you know, not in a blind way, not in like a, you know, I'm going to close my eyes and shout. Like, just, you know, do your best and don't worry about it. Like, with little interactions between people, most of them are just so forgettable. Like getting a call about like a lens that got grinded or something. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna sit around and remember that call for long, right? Like, it's like never beat yourself up about that stuff. Just do your thing. Call, tell them what you need to tell them as best you can, and then move on. Xisuma's base. Actually, let's put it all on the bottom line. I wanted it to make that like Adam Neely snippet when I said base. It was like base. Sly Lexria, thank you ever so much for the with the words. Thanks for that. Life advice for school when you're feeling burned out, says All of the Moon. What to do when you're burned out? I think you need to listen to yourself when you're burned out. You need to develop that way of understanding why you're burned out, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, what are your priorities in life, because, you know, some things are compromises, some things are a case of doing something you don't want to get something else, right? And I don't know your particular priorities, but whatever they are, you need to have them like in mind at one place or another. Like if it's always been your dream to do this one thing, but like the schoolwork is tough and tricky, then maybe you've got to keep it in mind that like this is for that goal. I'm gonna get that dream job one day. Right, I'm transitioning my desk. I don't know if you can hear all the awkwardness going on, but my chair refuses to move, my sound barrier is squeaking, and the desk is going up, and the people in chat are excited about the desk going up, which is a very strange thing if you're new here on the stream. Why are they hyped about a desk? I had a desk company reach out to me, and they wanted me to advertise one of their desks, which I was happy to do. But they wanted like to give it to me and show me it, me show it, and I was like, I think I don't want another desk in this house. I've got one. Like, I don't need two. You know, I'd be more than happy to promote standing desks and all of that stuff, though. It's it's done me so much good to be able to just go from sitting to standing. But yeah, could donate the old one. No way. Like, everything's set up, wires are, you know, the things are drilled into it, everything's perfectly measured for height. I would not want to go through doing that again. It took me, like a day to set up the desk, but then all the fiddly adjustments, like I kept going back and forth over the following weeks, and I don't want to go through all of that again. Cable management, yeah, like I've done some crazy cable management on mine. So that's definitely like, that's the beginning step right there, no doubt about it. But then what follows it is like, I remember I wanted to bring in the copper, but it just might not fit. Also, I'm wondering if those should go sideways, because that texture is square. You know, and if there's one thing I don't like in Minecraft, it's squares. How about you repeat that frame every 6 or 7 blocks all the way to the portal, says Cuz. That's pretty much the standard thing to do, right? So let's go ahead and start to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it'll be... Oh, these blocks are coming back to haunt me again, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and now the chest monster is in the way. The most predictable event in Minecraft. Your chest monster is in the way. Squares in Minecraft, outrageous, says Caitlin. Outrageous, isn't it? Oh, how dare they. X, if you're admin of the server, don't you overpower Ren's rule as the king, says Softy Bear. No, I'm here to do... Okay, they're in the right position. Guys, like, something's wrong. They're in the right position. They're the wrong wood. But I still feel like that's not quite what my brain saw. Do you have a recommendation for a standing desk? Just got one at my first house and upgraded my current one. You know, not really. Like, just get one. Like, I mean, there's like, I did research into getting a standing desk, and there wasn't much to it. Like, if you read reviews, you're get the information about, you know, if what's advertised is good. Is the motor actually decent, right? Like, because otherwise it's literally just a desk with a motor that goes up and down. You need to look into things like height ranges. Like, it's not really about would I recommend a particular one. It's like I recommend them in general, but then you've got to go and, you know, like get one that's the right height up and down for you. And you want to read reviews just to make sure that, you know, the motors aren't cheap or something. Right, like just look for those red flags. Oh look, there's 100 one-star reviews. You know. But yeah, in general, I recommend getting one, which is why I was like happy to work with this company. But then they wanted me to show their desk, me using their desk on camera, and I'm thinking like I don't want another desk. You know, like, I've got one. I've got this thing sorted. They're great. I'm happy to talk about them, but, like, I don't need another one. God, this song's such a jam. That guitar solo. Looks like it's going to align pretty well doing this as well, isn't it? They secretly want you to face reveal, says Fuzz. Or rent a kitty. Well, they wouldn't get it. I'll just use the desk with the screen mask on, right? I love desks and talking about desks, says a cup with water. Well, you're in for a treat because the rest of this stream is officially desk time. Nothing but desks. Desk. Desky desker. Desk. No, okay, that's just the worst joke ever. But I tried. And if someone out there giggled, well, me looking like a complete fool is worth it, right? Did anyone No, no one probably giggled. I enjoyed that, says a cup with water. I knew you would, Cup! That's all you ever wanted! Was me to say desk. That was the moment of your life. And now it has transpired. Yeah, we've got to do something cool in here with the floor. I doubt copper would look good. Maybe a copper slabs all the way up there? Don't know, it might look good. Probably not. I died of laughter, says Bobo Fat Cat. Lies! How did you just send that message if you died of Oh, what a cheeky fella. Lying. Can't believe it. So rude. This is my first time watching What's with the desks. I have a standing desk. Okay, as a gamer, I believe that gaming culture is unfortunately skewed towards a rather unhealthy lifestyle. Sitting around in a chair all day, not good for your body. Not good for your posture and your health. So I have a sit-stand desk where I can switch between sitting on my Herman Miller and standing at my my desk, which does wonders because what you really need is to change your posture frequently. It's not like you should stand it all day or sit it all day, but just switching back and forth between the two is real good. And I gotta say, lately I've just been feeling like I've really been feeling just the computer staticness, especially over the weekend. Like I did so much stuff on the weekend, like moving about, having a great time. But like always active, always like going somewhere, even if it's just walking. And there were little bits of like sitting down here and there, but you know, compared to the computer, it's like the computer is just like hours of staticness. Night Sport, thank you ever so much for 17 months. Void Boss, thank you so much for your Amazon Prime subscription, appreciate it. Some people might not know what Herman Miller is. No, who Herman Miller is, Curls. Who Herman Miller is. Herman! No. Naughty. God. Anyway, let's build this up a little bit more. I kind of like the idea of like you see that bit again every so often. Or maybe we just put it lower actually. How low is that going to end up being? Like you might hit your head. Kind of low. Where's some water? I'm gonna glug down some water next. What is that noise? Mmm. Mmm. That is some good water. It came from the tap. What is the black on the floor? It is black concrete, my friend. Simple and plain. Oh, do you know what we could use in here? We could just use the same, like, packed mud, those, was it packed mud? Yeah, packed mud, those sorts of textures in here. Hydration indeed, yes. That water in the UK must be so delicious, says Carls. You know, our water system's pretty decent. I don't think, I don't know. Like some places, I guess, you hear of like, I don't know, someone went on holiday and the water there was really nice or something. I remember a friend telling me once they went on holiday to a place with like a spring, and they had like fresh water out of the spring, and they were just like, it was amazing. Like you had like, it really is different. Water is vital life juice, says Lucky Gamer Mum. It is. That's why you need to hydrate frequently. And you know, like a lot of gaming culture, I was moaning about that a minute ago, wasn't I? Promotes energy drinks, and it's just like, no. No. They're not even like... Oh, I'm just going to go on a rant again at this pace, aren't I? Like, all that like G Fuel and stuff like that. I'm just like, no. Most energy drinks taste like soap. I'm glad they taste like soap. That'll hopefully keep you off them. Fuzzball Renakitty says G Fuel is meant to be good, but I don't know. It's so expensive. I don't actually know the details of G Fuel. It just the branding. It just looks like Red Bull to me. If it's good or not, you know, it's just a simple way of expressing something, right? Like, what I prefer is you, the consumer, having more information about what you're consuming, because it's never just this black and white, like, oh, it's good. You know, is it good? Is it good for someone who's diabetic? Like, you know, there's different types of people with different considerations. So you need knowledge and understanding of what these things are. And energy drinks are often made from things that need to be taken out of other products, basically. So caffeine, for example, comes out of other products. Got to take it out, you know, out of kids' foods or whatever, and then, oh, what do we do with all this waste caffeine? Well, let's find a way to market it. You know, you can market it. If it can give you wings, you can market it, right? And then they turn it into a new product. Didn't have the need for energy drinks before. Won't have the need after, probably. What was this thing again? It was higher up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of mirror that and then put something in the middle. I think it's coming together. Like, it's not the prettiest thing, but it'll work. Put that there for a second, and 1, 2, 3. So we strip all of these. We'll start to get a little bit of an idea. X, opinion on pumpkin spice lattes or just coffee? Whatever you want to drink. Whatever you want to drink. Red Bull is pretty nasty. There are other brands that taste so much better. G Fuel tastes pretty good. And it's surprisingly got some decent minerals and vitamins in it, says Bell Steven. Yeah, what you got to remember though is that minerals and vitamins are sort of like in most foods, right? It's like, you know, hey, it's got carbohydrates in. Got to get those carbs. That kind of thing. Like, Monster tastes like wheat. Oh. God, I actually went through a phase of drinking those. I didn't get, like, that big on them, but I got close to getting pulled into all of that. And fortunately, I sort of steered myself away from it, I guess. Got kind of lucky. Just those things are addictive. But I never really got sucked to it. I thank my mum and dad a lot for cooking me meals at home, like making sure that I had cooked meals. Like we didn't have takeaways, and I mean we would on occasion, right? But like not a lot of takeaways and microwave meals. It was always cooked meals. So not all of those are going to be the healthiest, but it just meant that I had a lot of like cooked veg and stuff growing up, and salads, and I think that always like just steered me from falling into like the fast food bucket. I think in the back of my mind I always kind of knew, yeah, this stuff ain't that great, and fortunately kind of steered clear of getting into them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to take a trip to the shopping district. The shopping district, you say? The shopping district? Yeah, that one. Where we spend our royal emeralds. Oh, gotta stop for these weirdness things I do. Oh, actually, oh no, I remember. I put them in my backpack. They're in there now. I kept getting into energy drinks, but my stomach made sure to almost kill me a week into drinking. I'll stay on tea for now. I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of good in a way if your body gives you that strong signal. Kind of good. You're into shopping? Yeah, shopping. Let's go spend our emeralds and do some shopping. I only drink Monsters, but that's if I don't get much sleep and have school, which they often don't occur at the same time, so I'm happy for all of that. Also, I only drink them in the mornings. This is graveyard. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, caffeine has its use and application. If you want to consume caffeine for energy, or not, you know, we've got to remember, these things don't give you energy. They give you the illusion of energy, at least with caffeine. I mean, carbs and stuff is energy. But like coffee would always be way better. But also like how early in the morning, because there's this thing that like if you consume caffeine within the first 90 minutes of waking up, like it has you know, you will pay for it later in the day. At the end of the day you'll be like groggier, not as sharp. Supposedly you got to wait 90 minutes for you to have that coffee. By the way, I haven't had caffeinated coffee or a bit of tea here and there for like, this will be day 4, because I've just been drinking so much coffee and I've got all these like fresh bags of different coffee beans, and I'm like, I'm developing a problem here. And I feel alright. Tomorrow I might just skip the coffee, but I've got a feeling because it's in the cupboard I will definitely consume it. I think I'm learning that with coffee I can't have a stockpile and just like not consume it, you know. Oh, can I do any of this? Trade with a hermit. Although these haven't been refreshed. I'll just leave them alone, actually. This is not what I came here for. I just instinctively came to this spot, right? But yeah, on my little weekend break, I tried loads of different coffees, like decaf. I had a decaf cappuccino. I was like, oh, this is good. Then I had some other one, which I forgot the name of, and it came in one of those like really small little cappuccino, not cappuccino, espresso type things. And even though they were decaf, I knew they would have caffeine in, but I was just, at least I was having less. Yeah, anyway, as you can tell, I'm just kind of concerned. Like, I need to, okay, I've started using caffeine a lot. Now I need to like back off and see how I feel when I properly don't consume it. Because if I start craving it a lot, I'm going to be like, don't think I want to get reliant on this stuff. Right, if I want more mangrove wood, Kralis said I could come get some from him, so I'll pay for those with those. Oh yeah, I do actually have the means for more. So actually I think I'll just buy them from here. Save a trip. Let's get, I think we're gonna need like one more mangrove. I thought this stuff would like sell out, but it's not a part of your build palette then, you know. Right, there you go. That's that. Royal Emeralds X says 4gil, yep. They're the currency now. Right, so on the weekend I went to Leicester. Right, heard about they got a National Space Centre there. I was like, ooh. And then we found out that they had a climbing area, boulder climbing, social climbing it's called. Like, you know, like rock climbing as a hobby. People do it indoors, right? And boulder means you go up and down. You don't go as high, but you don't have a harness. So that was super interesting. But anyway, we started the weekend going to this King Richard III visitor centre, and the way they kind of laid out the story of King Richard III, it was all like scattered in these little bits of text on the wall, and I didn't find that particularly appealing. But then the story of how they found his remains, I was like, whoa, this is fascinating. It's one of those things where you like, maybe the significance of it isn't particularly obvious if you just explain it, but I get the impression this is like a really unlikely thing to happen. Okay, so King Richard III, a little bit of history about England, is a ruler who is kind of painted by history in a very unfavourable light, which some people think is actually propaganda that's just sort of become history, and then later on people have looked back at it and gone, actually, is it? Like, maybe this guy's a victim of his successors trying to paint him in a bad light and all this kind of stuff. So that's King Richard III. I mean, there's details, there's rumours that he killed his nephews, things like that. It's all, you know, happened a long, long time ago. Leicester, I'm so sorry you had to... Leicester. Every time I've typed it out, I say Leicester in my head. Leicester, I'm so sorry you had to go to my hometown, says Penelope Syke. I really liked visiting it. I love, like, taking in all of the new information when you go somewhere. Like, driving through the town, like, or the city to the city centre, and like just seeing all the houses and roads and the way things are laid out. Like, I love seeing all of that and just taking all of that in. I know it's like not the most interesting thing, and I'm sure I'd get bored of it if I just, you know, kept driving. I guess I don't feel that way driving through where I live, so like you get used to it. But when something's new and novel, I love seeing the layout of everything and where all the buildings are and what the shops are and all of this. Like, just simple pleasures, really, simple pleasures. I thought it was really cool, and yeah, the visitor centre was the first place that we went to. So what's unique about this King Richard story is that this group of historians, mainly one, I think her name was Philippa, had like this hunch that they'd sussed out that they think that King Richard's remains are like somewhere in Leicester, and then they kind of like narrow it down to like they think it's in this car park. And then they go to this car park and there's like an R for reserved, but they take it as a sign and they're like, we think he's here. And, you know, they do this archaeological dig, and literally the first thing they uncover when they start digging the first trench is his remains. They didn't know it straight away. It took time to clarify it. It took years, actually. They did all sorts of DNA testing, all sorts of other theory comes into it, like analysing the diet and whatnot of that individual through analysing their remains, and like it just kept coming up aces. Basically, it was like hit after hit, and it was like, yeah, they found him, and it all got confirmed, and they gave him like a proper burial eventually and stuff. And now in the world of architecture, like, I think architecture is more of this painstaking process of like spending a lot of time digging and thumbing through, I don't know, fossils and bits of this and that, and like not really ever getting anywhere. And this is like the absolute opposite. This is just like the moonshot, right? The Hail Mary. They just had a hunch it was in this place, and like in this spot, you know, hundreds of years these remains have been under this earth, and now it's a car park for a social centre. There's a few other things that are interesting. Well, like there were all these barriers to entry to get the dig to take place that would normally stop it, but somehow they managed to get it through. And learning about all like the odds and whatnot, it sounds kind of miraculous that they were able to find his remains. But yeah, they just dug down and that's it. There they were. Super fascinating. Totally go look it up. What's his name? Simon, the explainer guy. The guy does all the... I can't remember his second name. Had a video on it, because after I went there, I was like, I wanted to like watch a YouTube style video explaining everything. That's just the way I take in information these days. He did a good explainer on it. It's just such a cool story, really. Oh, was I saying architecture this whole time? Archaeology. So sorry. So sorry. What a derp I am. Archaeology, yeah. The wrong arc. I got the wrong arc! They're so similar. They both got that curve. You know? That 90-degree angle. X, how did they get the theory he was in the car park? I can't remember the specifics. I think it was not like the theory is in a car park. It's more like the theory is he's going to be this far away from these locations. I think it had something to do with a cathedral and a river. And then when they like plotted where that was, it was a social services car park. Right? And then the woman like leading the investigation on it saw that one of the car park spaces had like an R on it and took it as a sign. Which, I don't believe in that stuff. And even if you give me the most crazy story about it, I still won't believe in it. But like, it's always interesting. And sure enough, it was below the one with an R on it. So wow, that would be a proper amazing movie, says Carls of Doom. I think they've made movies on it or like extended documentaries, but there's also a movie coming out about King Richard III. King Richard III for F, who's asking. That's who they found in the car park. He was just hanging out, you know, with his cronies. They weren't looking for him. They're like, "You still alive?" So I'm King Richard III. Get on board. Chilling in his ride. Chilling in his carriage. With some hungry horses. Yeah. So that was the first thing that we did. Then we went to eat at this place that was like #1 on Google. And because it was #1 on Google, what do you know, there was a queue out the door. So we went a little further and there was an Indian street food place. And I'd wanted to go to one of these before. I saw that there was one in London. And it was great. There were just all these dishes that were different names. So like, you know, your curry houses, it's usually chicken tikka masala and korma and all of that. But these are all just different delicacies from India. And they suggested that you get like 3 or 4 plates and share them, which we did. And absolutely delicious. Just ate some really cool food. So that was cool. After that, we went to the rock climbing. Did some bouldering. Now, I've seen, like, over the years, I've seen people talk about doing rock climbing several times. It's always looked interesting, and then I've never really followed up on it. But this time we went in, and I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed myself. I don't know, I didn't get that feeling like, oh, this is my new passion, this is what I will do now. But I really enjoyed the activity. It is ever so much fun to hang off of a wall and just, like, pick spots and, like, climb to the next bit. Really, really enjoyed that. And definitely want to go again. Going to try and convince some mates to perhaps come along with me. There was this really cool bit where like you start on a wall that's sort of coming towards you, and then it like goes over the top of your head, and so like the whole time you're climbing it, it's basically kind of against you. So you do some proper hanging off of it, and you really have to use your body strength to like pull you around and hang off of it. I probably boulder 5 times a week. I love it so much, as Nobody Nino. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I got an idea of what that's like now. I can see how you get into it. Like, I don't have something close enough to do it like that, but I think like if there were one where I lived, I would probably get into that because it was cool. Softy Bear! Today wasn't a good day, but I made it better for you. Oh, glad to hear that. Yeah, we all have bad days every now and then, right? Good ones will follow. They will come round again. I'm quite liking this tunnel. Like, it's a bit cramped and simplistic, but it just needs to get me from one place to another. But Penelope says, me being a climbing instructor, Googling it to compare the one I work at. Well, if you're in Leicester, or at least your hometown was, was just thinking that's the one we went to, social climbing, right? But there were like 3 or 4 of them in Leicester, and I didn't entirely know what I was picking, but like that's the one that I just got the good vibes from, and I didn't fully understand when I booked it that bouldering and like not having, you know, like being on the harness was like a big deal, or well, it's not a big deal, but you know, like it's a thing, and I get the feeling that it was the better decision having not done the other thing. They had these like walls that you could time yourself on when you climb up as well, but I didn't want to approach it that way. I didn't want to be all like, oh, I'm gonna like race my way up the wall. It was like first day doing this, I'm gonna, you know, just be a little more cautious, perhaps. Have I put that at the wrong height? That one? I think I have. I think that's the height where the next bit starts. Are you good at pulling your body weight up, says Ardenis. Yes, I love doing pull-ups, do lots of pull-ups every day. And probably a couple of years ago now, like time just goes by, but yeah, some time ago I made a conscious effort to like really like try and improve my ability to like, you know, do pull-ups and upper body strength, and like when I focused on it and like programmed it into my routine, like all of a sudden I went from being able to do like, you know, a couple of pull-ups to like I can do 12, but I tend not to go further than that just because I can maintain form for 12. But yeah, I really like it. So like it, that's another reason I really like the activity, right? Because it's like really physical in a way that I enjoy. Have you tried axe throwing? No, but that sounds cool. Yeah, God, I love it so much. Like, the hotel that we stayed at had a gym in it, and it was like, I didn't realize, and it wasn't my plan at all. Like, I was going to take the whole weekend off from working out. But then I went to the gym like early in the morning. There's like one other person in there, or 2 I think at one point. As time went on, more people turned up. But that was good because I got to use a bunch of equipment, and dang did it make me sore. Like when you go use other equipment than what you're used to, like your body moves in different ways. So I was using these like pressing machines and pull down machines, and like it just felt different, which is cool. But yeah, the pull down machine though, like it's different from my home one. Pulls down further, like I pull it all the way down to my lap, and this one doesn't go down that far. So the first time I'm using it, right, like I pull down the weight and then bang, and I'm like, oh, what have I done? Breaking their equipment, and it like smacked up against the top. I was like, all right, okay, don't pull down as far. So I did it again, and I smacked it a second time, and I'm like, geez, this thing like don't want to come down that far at all. So I'm not sure it's good. It made me think, like, is my equipment the better way to do it, or theirs? Like, should it come down that far? Not really sure. Aquatic Gay says, any advice for people trying to learn to work out? Yeah, go to a gym and do it right, and get someone to show you the ropes, like a personal trainer, a professional. You can use the internet and watch videos and stuff, but it's really probably not the best way to do it. It's the way I did it, and had to learn from so many mistakes because of that. Yeah, lat pull downs aren't supposed to go very far past your chest, says Nobody Nino. Yeah, I'm gonna have to brush up on that one then and have a look, because usually it comes all the way down to my lap. Go to the gym with a friend who has some experience, says Nobody Nino. Yeah, but like, what you gotta say, like, what is their experience? Like, if I were to go to the gym with my mates and they were like, teach us something or whatever, I'd be a bit hesitant, because I'm like, look, I'm self-taught and I've made mistakes, and there's some definite basics I would know, you know, do's and don'ts, but like a lot of stuff, coaching on technique and form, I'm not trained in how to do that. The worst thing about going to the gym is the going part, says Miss JK. Yeah, but once you're there and once you get started, then it's that's it really. Usually with a lot of things, it's just like it sucks until you start, and then you're like, oh, this one's such a bad deal. Silexeria says, I don't have a gym nearby, but there's a few VR games I play that can give quite a workout. Yeah, just being active and moving about is the name of the game, right? You might want to look into something like calisthenics, which is like body weight working out. You know, there are things you can do like press ups. Even if you've got like a bar, you can do pull-ups, right? Like, but you know, there's no one way you have to do something to be physical and healthy. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. You can mix and match, you know. You can play your games and do walking and press ups or whatever, or if you've got a bit of equipment, you can lift some weights and play sports. Like, you can do a mixture of things, really. Just find what's most enjoyable for you, perhaps. We got Curls of Doom here with a donation saying Steam code for Manifold Garden. Ah, I see. I see, Curls. I see what's going on here. Thank you so much for the donation. I will put that one on the list because I've got Inscription lined up for Saturday, but we'll get round to that one. But yeah, I wish you had to like message me first before that, but thank you nonetheless, girls. Appreciate it. You've reminded me of another thing I wanted to do, which was to make the list of games I'm going to stream, because I was putting them on my calendar, and now my calendar's just got like loads of blocks of streaming games getting moved all over the place. Highly respected, you refrain from giving advice of just personal experience. You can't know what works best for other people because you just found that worked for you. Proper basis is required if you are just going to direct people on things, and that may hurt them if done wrong, says Dr. Strept. Yeah, absolutely. I think there are types of advice that I can give, like, you know, encouragement to look into it and do it, but yeah, I mean, over the internet you can't comment on someone's form or how to, you know, explain over a stream how to do something in a particular way, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then, like, even in person, it's, yeah, I'm self-taught. But yeah, there are some things I think are advisable. It's more about the concepts. It's more like pointing people in the direction of concepts. So when someone's like, oh, like, you know, you're in shape, what's your routine? That's an opportunity to point out that my routine is for me. You know, it's for my needs and my goals, and what you need to do is learn about programming and what your needs might be and what your goals are, and how to program the right movement and things you want to do for that goal. If someone's out there like, hey, do this thing, unless they're your personal coach who's, you know, asked you a bunch of questions and stuff and knows what you want, like, if someone's trying to just sell you a one-size-fits-all, that's a bit of a red flag, which is what happens on, like, Instagram influencer space a lot. People, like, showing off their bodies and then being like, buy my program. And it's like, well, your program is for you, not for me. I was gonna pop in. Is it Hermits helping Hermits today? I was gonna pop in for a little bit and see how they're all doing. I didn't get to tell you all about the Space Center though, so I went to the Leicester Space Center and it was awesome. And the planetarium show is absolutely amazing. If you happen to want to go or are going, highly recommended. Lots of nice people there. The staff are really friendly, which is, now that I think about it, like, not something that I think about, that the fact that I have, to me, means that, like, maybe more friendlier than usual, you know? Like, I don't particularly go around thinking other staff here friendly, but the fact that I've picked up on that probably says something about the culture there or whatever. Yeah, and I did find like a fair bit of it on the duller side though, because like when I was younger, you go into a museum and you learn about a bunch of amazing stuff about space. Now that I'm older, it's like everything on these walls is something that I watched in a YouTube video, and like I am so much more interested in like seeing it through that lens than reading text on a wall, you know, and looking at the images. There's some cool stuff in and amongst there that's great to see, but I have that kind of experience with museums a lot now. It's like even the Richard III Visitor Centre, it's like after I've been there, I just went and watched some YouTube videos on it, and I was like, this is a much better way of learning. If I pay and don't go, then why did I pay? That's my problem. Gotta get me in that gym, says Miss JK. I would imagine that the act of paying makes you feel like you're making progress. This is something I've observed in certain people, and occasionally I think I do it, but like I'm pretty wise to it. But sometimes the act of like buying gym equipment or this stuff or that stuff makes you feel like you're going in the right direction. Like, I'm gonna buy this thing and now I'll definitely do it, and it's like, it's a bit of a trick. You think you're sort of like, you know, gonna pay to make yourself get up and do something, but really you have to just get up and do something. So like, you don't need a gym membership to get in shape. You can just go outside and start walking every day. Like I said, you can do press-ups, sit-ups. There's all sorts of body weight exercises that can you know, help you build strength and whatnot. So like, if you wanted to get started on fitness, if that was interesting to you, you really don't need to start with money at all. You need to just start with physical movement, getting out and about, moving around. That'll just, you know, move about more, and you'll hopefully like start to burn some fat as you expend more calories than you consume, and you can start working on strength a little bit. You know, doing the exercise is good for your cardiovascular system as well, you know, your heart's health and all that kind of stuff. And there are many different methods for different people, you know, like Toby Robot, good to see you in chat, saying even the act of telling someone your intentions. So yeah, one thing that's helped some people is making themselves accountable by having someone else like hold them accountable for it. So that's never really worked for me. Like, I have to motivate myself, and I don't really look for like an external thing. But I've heard of tactics of like, you know, doing tweets or whatever, like timing tweets that say something bad about yourself, and if you don't do this thing in time, then it will go out. But if you do it, then it will delete it. Like, that works for some people, but just not for me. Oh, yeah, so I'm not doing the longest stream today, but what I wanted to do is just see how this was going over
basalt floor in your kitchen. Yeah, I want a tile basalt floor in my kitchen.
That could be cool.
Hello.
Hey, Xisuma.
Hi, X.
How's
you
it
doing?
going? I'm doing
You're
all
doing
right.
great.
Do you need help with anything?
I don't. I was just working on my Nether tunnel, coming towards the end of my stream, and I remembered that it was HHH, and I just wanted to check in and see what was going on.
We're making Joe's floor.
Yeah, basically, we got done with Cleo's obsidian removal faster than we expected.
Ah, what obsidian were you removing?
Because Jevin, the one that Jevin put in my entire base,
Ah,
but decided that he was only going to put halfway down because doing it properly is too much like hard work.
Yeah, it looked like a lot more than it was.
All of that's gone now then?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to watch this video or something to know what exactly it was.
There was an Elder Guardian in there.
Ah, so you got to drink buckets of milk, and then...
Yeah, no, oh no, the Elder Guardians weren't a problem. The digging, the actual finding and killing the Elder Guardians was not the issue. The issue was getting rid of all the obsidian.
Oh, okay. I kind of pictured the idea was like mining fatigue plus obsidian equals impossible or something.
Yeah, but because it only triggers every minute, you can drink a bucket of milk and then just find the Elder Guardians and murder them. It's
Ooh.
You know, it's not that difficult.
I've just found the scale model. It reminds me of
the
Slipgator. the scale model, the sign at the front of it is like, wow. Oh god, phantoms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coin door sign. I'm really proud of that. One of the members of my Patreon community has a book of every Unicode character that works in Minecraft.
Oh, that's sweet.
And uploaded it as a text file. I actually think I posted it in the Hermitcraft Discord at one point and said, hey, if anybody needs special characters for signs, here's every one that works. He went through and tested which ones worked and which ones didn't. So
that's a
yeah,
really cool
handy.
resource. I have in the past like taken advantage of that stuff, but not with like pre-knowledge of what works.
Yeah, it was really helpful because like I was like, okay, I need something that represents the plunger, and I need something that represents the coin slot, and I could just flip through until I found something that matched each item, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm over here now.
I
Yeah,
mean, we're underneath.
Yeah, yeah. Finding where we're at. Let me come up to the surface.
You go and help, Joe. I will.
Yeah, 1 second. So, oh, of course it's dark out. Great. Let me sleep for the night real quick.
I mean,
Winners don't use drugs. That's my thumbnail right there. I love
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you're welcome to just keep flying around the pinball machine. It might be more visually interesting than the floor we're tiling, but
Well, I
yeah,
have a question immediately. Like,
Sure.
when you're recreating this, is it like underneath the glass that you're gonna? I imagine you're gonna see the game under the glass, right? But then, are you like recreating the electronics and the hardware inside too?
Yeah, that's the intent. This is like a model at that scale. So this glass here actually isn't the glass on top of the pinball machine. That would go like a line
yeah.
up there.
I see.
Right? The glass that you're standing on represents the bottom of the plywood that the pieces of the game are going to be mounted onto.
Got ya.
This is just where I'm sketching out like where the flippers and the pop bumper and everything will go. Does that make
Nice.
any sense?
It does. Yeah. No. It does.
And so, like, this green here, these leaves represent where the metal apron that surrounds the drain. So the actual drain would be here, so balls would fall out the bottom. And then I need to mark out, there's like a trough that they fall into and then get popped back up here into the shooter lane where the plunger hits them. The plan is to make the whole thing into an elytra course. And so the player would represent the pinball. You know how we talked about how the worst thing you could possibly make with the hats mod would be like a 6-foot stainless steel sphere? That's actually... I'm going to see if I can get people to go back on that one.
I know what you mean by
because,
hats mod now. It took me a second to catch up. You mean the
Yeah,
custom model
yeah.
data? Yeah.
Yeah, the custom model pumpkin data. Yeah. Yeah, so if you wore a 6-meter stainless steel sphere hat, you could in your replay mod file see yourself flying through the elytra course as the pinball.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like winging everything, or do you have like, I don't know, like a reference for the scale or everything?
Yeah, so the physical cabinet is based on Total Nuclear Annihilation, a pinball machine that I am currently renting. And so, like, in terms of like where the coin door is and the flippers and like this metal mounting bracket here, this is all stuff from the actual machine I have in my apartment right now. Same thing for like the back box where the vents are and where the speakers and screen are. I'm designing the playfield and the artwork for the machine myself. It's gonna be an original game, but I didn't need to reinvent the wheel on like what a pinball cabinet would look like. If that makes sense.
That's so cool. So you actually got a pinball. You've rented it, and it's like in. And I imagine you play it a lot.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Is this all an elaborate excuse just to play a pinball machine and have one in your house?
Yes, but it's also an excuse to go out to arcades for research more often too.
Ah, that as well. Yes.
Because for designing the actual playfield, I have to go play a whole bunch of different games, and but I actually am like taking notes and stuff when I go play, and I'm learning a lot about game design in a totally new way.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, I'm really interested in game design myself, and I imagine like pinballs is like a whole other field of considerations and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of physical constraints and concerns.
Awesome. Yeah, this thing's amazing to see it come along. Like, such a mega build.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to take advantage of the longer season this time around. Really going all out.
The forever season, right?
Mm-hmm.
There will be no season 10. Okay, that was a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna look.
Can
that
we
one
just
sit
say
for a
there will
minute.
be no season 10 and then just go straight to season 11? Is that okay?
That's what my
Oh,
chat were conspiring about earlier. They were
Oh my gosh, Cleo,
they were
this
suggesting we were going to skip a season.
Yeah, I've been calling it Hermitcraft She, because she is Chinese for 10. Like, I don't, like, I know the second I start talking about Hermitcraft 10, people are gonna freak out, but not a lot of people speak Chinese, other than, you know, all the people in China, and all the people who do business with China, and all the people who study their culture. But other than that, you know, it'll go completely under the radar.
Just got
I would
freaked
like to
out by a
reassure
sensor.
everybody we are not organising season 10.
No.
Mostly because, for that reason, Arena, Hermitcraft X is Hermitcraft Xisuma, and we just really can't have that.
I know.
It wouldn't be fair to the rest of us.
People keep saying it to me, and I'm like, you're building up too much on my shoulders. We'll have to call it something different.
Yeah, season 11.
Or season 9-2.
We could call it, like, Hermitcraft 2024.
I like that. You've given them a date, Joe. They'll latch onto that.
Oh, I know. That was a mistake.
People have
That's
pointed
why I
out
did it.
XB crafted, so it's... Let's call it season
Oh, yeah.
XB. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We did away
we
with
could
season
have
Yes.
season
XA.
XA.
That wasn't good enough. Season XB.
We did season
put the pressure on
XA
someone else.
in secret. So
Yeah, we recorded that one, but Mumbo's mic was broken, so we jumped straight to season XP.
Just scrapped the season. Right then, it's 9 o'clock. It's time for me to wrap up my stream today.
that's
Well, thanks for
X is
stopping
making
by,
skedaddle
X.
plans. I'll see you later, X.
Yeah, I only had a little bit of time to tune in. I apologise, but
That's
no
all
worries.
right. You
It's
don't
good
have
to
to
hang out.
apologise. Good to see you.
I think my chat really appreciates the tour of the pinball machine here, though.
Oh,
Really
I'm so
cool.
glad.
Awesome. I will see you later, X.
Yeah, maybe next week. I'll hopefully be around.
Yeah,
properly.
sure. We don't know what's happening next week either, so
Yeah,
Well,
if you need help, let us know.
I have a couple of ideas for things to do if ever there's a rainy day. So maybe we could do.
well, the days are always raining on Mondays.
All right, Monday's rainy day. Awesome. All right, see you guys later. Bye bye.
See you later, X.
I love the back of the pinball machine, says the life of L. Let's fly around there then. We got Luna Ecanante here at Cheers and Biddy saying, have you seen Jupiter with its moons? It should be very bright and really gorgeous. They said that to us when I was in the Space Center. They said you should be able to see Jupiter. And I immediately thought like, yeah, you know, I wish. Because light pollution and all that, right? So... my plan was actually, before I go to bed, to go for a walk today. Like, some nights I go sit in my sweat box, or I'll go for a walk before I cool down. Trying to get that good sleep, you know. Got that sleep routine, sleep hygiene. So yeah, I'll look to the skies if it's not cloudy, and maybe I'll see Jupiter and some moons, but I won't get my hopes up. Because, yeah. Anyhoozle, that was my stream for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Shorter one, I know, but yeah, just that's the way it is sometimes. That's all I've got time for. I will be back again either Wednesday or Thursday, and then we'll have Saturday morning. We'll be playing Inscription, doing our variety streaming on the weekend. So make sure you're following. If you want to check out any of the other stuff that I do, drop on by over at linktree.asuma.co. You can listen to my music, Soulsider clips, or check out some of my guitar videos, live streams on the second channel, all of that stuff, you know. I guess we can do a raid today, right? Anyway, big thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate your support. And big thanks to all the mods, the patrons. people gifting subs. I am trying to find a channel to raid, but I don't know why I am, because I just thought, you know, Cleo and Joe are streaming. And we'll raid Joe since he gave us a wonderful tour of the pinball machine. Which is a very, very cool project. Right, it's all ready to go, so this is me out of here. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.